Beekeeping Consulting, offering mentorship or hive maintenance services from hobbyist to honey master, the ultimate guide to launching your beekeeping consultancy. The hum of a healthy hive is one of nature's most rewarding soundtracks. For many, beekeeping starts as a backyard hobby, a fascination with the intricate social structure of Apis mellifera and the sweet reward of homegrown honey. However, as your experience grows, you may find that your true passion lies not just in tending your own bees, but in helping others succeed. This is where beekeeping consulting comes in. The demand for professional apiculture services is surging, from urban gardeners wanting to support local pollinators to suburban families seeking a connection with nature. The bee-curious public is looking for experts to guide them. This comprehensive guide explores the multifaceted world of professional beekeeping services, offering deep insights into mentorship, hive maintenance, and the business strategies required to turn your expertise into a thriving enterprise. The vision, why beekeeping consulting matters. In an era of environmental uncertainty, honeybees face unprecedented challenges. Pesticide exposure, habitat loss, and the relentless pressure of the Varroa destructor might have made beekeeping more difficult than it was 50 years ago. The set it and forget it style of beekeeping is a relic of the past. Today, successful beekeeping requires active management, scientific understanding, and constant vigilance. By offering your services as a consultant, you are doing more than just earning an income. You are acting as a steward for the environment. You are ensuring that new keepers don't become discouraged by early losses, and that managed colonies don't become mite bombs that infect the surrounding bee population. Your role is part educator, part technician, and part environmental advocate. Defining your service tiers, mentorship versus maintenance. The first step in building your consultancy is defining exactly how you interact with your clients. Most professionals split their treat their offerings into two primary categories, though many find success in a hybrid model. One, the mentorship model, teaching the next generation. Mentorship is about empowerment. Your goal is to guide the client through the steep learning curve of the first few seasons so they can eventually manage their hives independently. This is ideal for clients who want the hobby experience but are intimidated by the technical details. Guided inspections. You meet the client at their hive and perform an inspection together. You point out the difference between worker brood and drone brood, show them how to spot a supersedure cell, and teach them how to handle a smoker without scorching the bees. Problem-solving consultations. Sometimes a hobbyist just needs a second pair of eyes. They might call you because they can't find their queen, or they're worried about a strange smell coming from the hive. In these instances, you act as a diagnostic expert. And seasonal workshops, you can host small group sessions on specific topics like spring split success or winterizing your apiary. This allows you to leverage your time by teaching multiple clients at once. One, the hive maintenance model, the hands-off approach. Maintenance services are for clients who value the presence of bees. For pollination of their orchards, or the prestige of having estate honey, but do not have the time, physical ability, or desire to do the work themselves? Full service management. You handle everything. You source the bees, set up the woodenware, perform bi-weekly inspections, treat for mites, and harvest the honey. The client simply enjoys the view and the final product. Corporate and institutional hives. Many businesses, hotels, and schools are looking to boost their green credentials. They often have the budget for full-service maintenance, but require a high level of professionalism and insurance. Vacation coverage. Even experienced beekeepers need to travel. Offering a bee-sitting service to perform a scheduled inspection while a keeper is away is a great way to fill gaps in your schedule. The technical edge. Professional standards of care. To charge professional rates, you must provide professional grade care. This goes beyond just keeping the bees alive. It involves a data-driven approach to colony health, the science of varroa management. The single biggest factor in hive failure today is the varroa mite. A professional consultant must be an expert in integrated pest management, IPM. You should be comfortable explaining the economic threshold for treatment to your clients. A standard metric for a healthy colony is keeping the mite load below 2% or 3%. To calculate this, you perform a standardized alcohol wash. In a sample of roughly 300 bees, about a half cup, you count the mites that fall off. The math is simple but vital. If you find 9 mites in a 300 bee sample, your mite load is 3%. At this point, you must be prepared to recommend a treatment, whether it's an organic acid like formic or oxalic or a synthetic strip based on the temperature and the presence of honey supers, biosecurity protocols. When you move between different apiaries, you are a potential vector for disease. Professionalism means taking biosecurity seriously. You should have a dedicated set of tools for each client route, or at the very least, a strict disinfection protocol. Using a propane torch to flame your hive tool between yards is a visible sign to your clients that you are protecting their investment from foul brood and other pathogens. The business of bees, logistics, and pricing. Many talented beekeepers fail as consultants because they neglect the business side of the equation. Transitioning from a hobby to a service requires structure. Crafting your pricing structure. Pricing is often the hardest part of starting out. You aren't just charging for your time. You're charging for your years of experience, your equipment, your fuel, and your insurance. The flat fee inspection. A common way to start is charging a set fee for a 45-minute hive visit. This works well for residential mentorship subscription models. For maintenance clients, a monthly or annual subscription is often better. For cash flow, this might include a set number of visits per year, all necessary mite treatments, and a guaranteed amount of harvested honey. The travel surcharge. If you are traveling more than 15 or 20 miles, a travel fee is essential. Beekeeping is physically demanding, and spending 2 hours in a truck for a 30-minute inspection can quickly eat into your margins. Contracts and liability. Working with stinging insects on other people's property carries inherent risks. A professional service agreement should clearly outline liability. Waivers. Ensure the client understands that bees can sting and that you are not responsible for allergic reactions of guests or neighbors. Succession planning. What happens if a colony dies? Beekeeping involves nature, and despite your best efforts, some colonies won't make it. Your contract should state that you do not guarantee the survival of the bees, only the quality of your professional care. Honey ownership. Be very clear about who owns the honey. If you are doing maintenance, do you keep the honey as partial payment, or does the client get every drop? Marketing and client acquisition. How do you find people willing to pay for bee help? The key is positioning yourself as a local authority, local SEO, and digital presence. When a panicked new beekeeper sees their bees hanging in a giant clump on a tree, a swarm, they don't look in the yellow pages, they search on their phone. Having a clean, mobile-friendly website that highlights your location and your specific services is crucial. Blog about local nectar flows, when to put on honey supers in your specific climate, and how to identify local pests. This builds your authority in the eyes of search engines and potential clients. Community engagement. Beekeeping is a community-driven activity. Join local gardening clubs and offer to give a free presentation on how to support pollinators. You will inevitably find someone in the audience who has always wanted bees but was too afraid to start. Partner with local nurseries or farm and garden stores. Often, these stores sell the equipment but don't have the staff to explain how to use it. You can be the expert they refer customers to. Scaling your service, equipment, and infrastructure. As you grow from 3 clients to 30, your backyard setup won't cut it anymore. The mobile bee rig. You need a vehicle that can handle heavy boxes and potentially sticky spills. Many professionals use a dedicated truck or a small trailer equipped with a water tank for cleaning, a heavy-duty smoker box, and extra emergency woodenware. The extraction center. If you offer harvesting services, you need a food-grade space to process honey. Whether this is a certified kitchen or a dedicated honey house, it needs to be efficient. Investing in a motorized extractor will save you hundreds of hours of manual labor as your client list grows. Record-keeping software. Keeping track of 50 hives across 20 different locations in your head is impossible. Use an app or a dedicated database to record the history of each hive. Being able to pull up a client's record and say, last year this hive peaked in June and we treated for mites in August, makes you look incredibly professional. The ethics of professional beekeeping. As a consultant, you will occasionally face ethical dilemmas. A client might want to keep bees in a location that isn't suitable, or they might want to avoid mite treatments entirely for natural reasons, even when the colony is suffering. You saw your role is to advocate for the bees. If a client refuses to follow basic health protocols that endanger the local bee population, you must be prepared to walk away from that contract. Maintaining your integrity and the health of the environment is more important than a single service fee. Your reputation is built on the health and vitality of the hives under your care. Seasonal workflow. What a year looks like. To give you a sense of the daily grind, let's look at the seasonal rhythm of a professional consultant. Spring, the rush. This is your busiest time. You are installing packages and nukes for new clients, performing equalization across established yards, and keeping a sharp eye out for swarm cells. You are likely working 60-hour weeks. Summer, the monitoring. The focus shifts to honey production. You're adding supers, monitoring for queen failures, and performing alcohol washes to check mite levels. This is also the best time for mentorship sessions as the hives are at their most active and impressive. Autumn, the preparation. This is the most critical time for survival. You are harvesting honey, but more importantly, you are ensuring hives have enough winter stores. You are applying knockdown treatments for mites and ensuring queens are laying fat bees that can survive the cold. Winter, the education, the bees are clustered, and your field work slows down. This is the time for business administration, equipment repair, and teaching winter classroom sessions. You use this time to sign contracts for the upcoming spring. Final words. Your future in the apiary. Launching a beekeeping consultancy is a journey of constant learning. No two seasons are the same, and no two hives behave exactly alike. However, the satisfaction of seeing a client pull their first frame of liquid gold, knowing that you gave them the confidence and the skills to get there, is immense. By focusing on high standards of care, clear communication, and a passion for education, you can build
your own business.
that this not only provides a fulfilling career, but also makes a tangible difference in the health of your local environment. The world needs more bees, but more importantly, it needs more skilled people to look after them.